Welcome to today's video about Public Sector Solutions Accredited Professional AP-222 exam. What is Public Sector Solutions Accredited Professional AP-222 exam? Salesforce AP-222 Key Information. Exam content weighting. Preparation strategy to prepare for AP-222 exam. 1. An agency plans to roll out public sector solutions for implementing licensing and inspections. As part of the rollout strategy, one of the features they need to enable is person accounts. Which statement is true regarding person accounts? A. Person accounts bring together fields from opportunity and contact. B. The person account model uses the standard account object to hold the details about a person. C. Record types are not supported for person accounts. D. After person accounts is enabled in an org, it can be disabled again. 2. A public sector organization, PSEO, would like to enhance its publicly available website, built-in Experience Cloud, to allow constituents to report their concerns about someone's health or safety. The PSEO is already using public sector solutions. The requirement from the PSEO is that the constituent should be able to report their concerns both as authenticated users and anonymously. Additionally, internal staff should be able to separately track their investigations and any follow-up in a separate case. Leveraging public sector solutions functionality. What configuration should the technical consultant use to meet the requirements? A. Use record types on case, one for the constituents and one for internal staff. B. Use the public complaint and case objects. C. Use a custom object for the complaint with a lookup relationship to case. 3. A public sector organization, PSEO, is implementing public sector solutions. It has a requirement that they would like to keep a list of assessment indicators that their teams will use during inspections and have those indicators mapped to regulatory codes that team members can reference. Leveraging the public sector solutions data model. How can the technical consultant meet the requirement for the PSEO? A. Use the regulatory code assessment indicator junction object. B. Use the assessment indicator regulatory code junction object. C. Create a lookup relationship on both objects to a junction object called regulatory code map. D. Create a master detail relationship between regulatory code and assessment indicator. 4. A public sector agency is leveraging the business rules engine for its licensing and permitting implementation. The agency needs to allow multiple permits for a single application, and the permit fee is calculated based on the type of permits selected. Which two steps would a technical consultant use to address this use case? A. Add an aggregate step to the group and add the sum function. B. Add a lightning component to query and aggregate the total value of all permits. C. Add an aggregate group to the end of the expression set. D. Provide permission sets to users for the expression set and lightning component. 5. A public sector agency is looking to digitize its operations for emergency response. As the technical consultant on the project, The expectations are to roll out a public-facing portal that allows citizens to submit a simple emergency request with some basic information. Which two are the correct approaches a consultant should take to meet these objectives? A. Build a digital experience site using pre-configured emergency response management specific template. B. Build a digital experience site using the Help Center template based on the agency's requirement. C. Leverage pre-built emergency service request flow. D. Create a custom case record type and leverage a pre-built contact support form. 6. A government agency would like to ensure that fee calculations for its licensing programs are done automatically and correctly. The system administrator needs to ensure that the data type must be currency. Where in the expression sets can the administrator set the data type as currency? A. Under the decision table. B. Entry criteria for process builder. C. Under Omniscripts and while setting options. D. Under Add resource in expression sets. 7. A public sector organization, PSEO, would like to deploy a digital experience that enables constituents to sign up for volunteer projects. Which permission set license should be assigned to a volunteer to allow them to sign up? A. Emergency response for public sector. B. Volunteer management for community. C. Community response for public sector. D. Public sector for community. 8. A public sector agency recently implemented public sector solutions for the inspection and license renewal of restaurants in the city. A new inspector has been onboarded to conduct the inspections, but they cannot access the action plans feature. All other inspectors can access action plans without any problems. What could be causing this behavior? A. The Salesforce user for the new inspector is disabled. B. The Enable Notes permission has not been selected for the new inspector. C. Action Plans permission set has not been assigned to the new inspector. D. Person account models have not been enabled on the org. 9. A public sector agency implemented public sector solutions for meeting licensing, permitting, and inspection requirements. The inspection team has requested to make a few changes to the existing inspection form. The system administrator is unable to see the Edit button for the action plan template and hence unable to make any changes. What could be the reason for this? A. System administrator doesn't have Edit permissions to action plan template. B. Action plan template changes have to be requested to Salesforce support team. C. Edit option needs to be added to action plan template page layout. D. Once published, an action plan template cannot be changed. 10. A public sector agency has implemented public sector solutions for managing their grants program. The agency authorities have received a complaint from an applicant whose eligibility was declined for the program. How should the agency authorities check how the eligibility was determined for this application record? A. Use Decision Explainer to understand how the decision was made. B. Use Salesforce debug logs using Developer Console to understand how the eligibility is being determined. C. Use Public Sector Solutions Selection Explainer to understand how the selection was made. D. Do testing with relevant datasets and check how each test behaves. Check the correct answers for each question. Subscribe PassCert for more IT exam prep.